So, hi Karthik, thanks for coming here and sharing this important information with our viewers. So, we'll go over the total like how what is fintech and what are the challenges, what are the skills required in fintech, and then also talk about your framework in this sort of a video. Okay, so we can just start with sort of your background about fintech in general as a professional.
Thanks, Nikhil. Nice to reconnect with you, and discuss about this interesting topic. And because we actually met because of this topic, right? So,
Yep.
right. So to that end, it's a very logical progression, right? So, as you rightly mentioned, just to set a
Mhm.
context,
Yeah.
I spent roughly 20 years working in it's been almost 20 plus years. And I've been lucky, maybe out of both effort and design and the external circumstances, that I always worked in innovative scenarios,
Mhm.
situations, or products or solutions, right? So I have experience on both sides of the table, having worked with banks, financial services companies, mutual fund, wealth management, and all those things. And then I worked on technology companies into core banking, digital process automation, the likes of those, right? So that's how I spent my time frame. And as I said, at every stage, I got to practice something very innovative or learn something innovative. And I've tried to carry that legacy forward in my career. That's been my effort. And in the last 4 years, I've been consulting in the fintech space with this initiative of mine called Fintastic, where we typically try to work on product and go to market. And what does this mean is basically enable the product to be much more market ready, because a product can be ready, but to make it market ready, there are many things. A simple example is an
Mhm.
engineer is ready by certification, but he has to be market ready,
Right.
right? Right, for a job. So I'm just giving you a very simple analogy. It's much more than that, but then that's how you make a product market ready. And then go to market is much bigger in the fintech space, and it involves a lot of things like partnership, POCs, right? And I'm sure you are also exposed to a lot of these things. So it's not like simple selling of anything.
Mhm.
In a fintech tech environment, it is much deeper, bigger. Program management is required, and a lot of skill sets are required, knowledge, understanding, stakeholder management, and stuff like that. So it's a lot of jugglery, and I enjoy doing it.
Okay.
So that's been my summarized journey till now. Yeah.
Great, great. Nice to hear that. So, Karthik, if you have to explain to somebody who is not conversant with fintech, is very just started his sort of career, how will you to a layman explain what is fintech and why is it becoming so popular now?
It's a very I think a very fundamental question, and a lot of us should know about it, right?
Right. Mm.
And so let me, in very layman terms, we all have probably got exposed to many of these mobile banking apps, right?
Right.
UPI based payments, Google Pay, right?
Right.
QR code, right? Right. So I think that's the first step to know or being. See, makes you very familiar because we have used all these things.
Yes, we have used.
A non-techie also is using a Google Pay today, right?
Right. Right.
So that is, in simple terms, fintech for you, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Now, why it is important? So one is, I want to break the myth that fintech means, it's basically abbreviation of word financial services and
Right.
technology, but and that's how the word fintech came. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not something very jargonish and to be afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
Common people can understand,
Right.
and the reason, and they need to also. The
Mm-hmm.
reason is, one, I've already told you, it is becoming part of your day-to-day lives today.
Right.
You have to make payment online with digital, government, even with Jandhan and all government. So even at the lower level of our pyramid, right, knowledge of financial services related technology is important, right? At
Right.
least the apps.
Mm-hmm.
So to that extent, it's becoming very much a part of our life, and going forward, it's going to be much more,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because fintech is getting embedded. What do I mean by embedded is, in anything you do or buy today, you'll see that you have various forms of payments, lending. You can select, buy now, pay later, or you can select EMIs, right? So it's no more just buying.
Mm-hmm.
It is buying plus payment plus lending. and then you have on the investment side, a lot of these technologies come, which will help you organize your investment lifestyle. So it will start affecting your lifestyle. So you need to know fintech to that extent. And the best part is tech is becoming very simple for everyone today. You know, it's like a few years back, we I don't know, when ATMs came, people thought, or technology came to banking, people thought what will happen, but it's become part of our daily lives, right?
Right.
The way it has got changed. So you just go use the card, use ATM. Many people have started familiarizing themselves. It's not very big rocket science, right?
Right.
So the same way, all these new technologies will come up, and in fact, lot of will become so hidden because voice-based interface is coming. Today, at least, to open the app, you need to know how it is to be done. But tomorrow, we are talking about scenarios where, voice-based interface, the app will recognize you. Maybe it is possible you may even not need a password because people are talking about these scenarios. Logically, it makes a lot of sense. They will make identify you through so maybe if you want to inquire your balance, why do you need a password? Right? I'm just saying some validation is there, but so there are the soft, it will all get behind the scenes. So even for a common man to know what it can do for you, even for your business, though you may not be so directly involved in fintech, knowledge of fintech is very important.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Because
that's where my point is.
yeah, finance touches everyone, right? So that's why it is for every common man. It will sort of, we see a lot of scams also going on, and these kind of stuff is also going on. So if you have fair
Yes,
amount of
awareness.
knowledge about awareness about fintech, then that will be helpful. Now, talking about, you mentioned certain themes in fintech which are becoming maybe payments and lending, and so broader going forward and currently also, what are the 3 4 themes uh, that you think will be very important? And I think in your book also you talk about 64 themes. Out of those 64 themes, or general, which are the themes you think are going to be very major trendsetters?
Yeah. So I think the first thing which I spoke to you about is this embedded.
Embedded. Okay.
Yeah, it's a master theme. Is in the sense under embedded, many things are happening, right? So uh, what do you mean by embedded? I just said that it will become part of your daily lives in many ways, right? Uh, because see, commerce can only be enabled through financial services. So even if you want to pay, you want to donate, you want to do anything, right? All that you
Bank
need
will be
some
involved.
payment
Right.
into it. So a commerce, the way community works. Tomorrow, you want to form a community and want to do something there together. There may be some financial. Obviously, even if you want to plan a trip, you need to
Yeah.
pool in resources, which is money, right? And then plan a trip. You can geotag and do many things. So to that extent, financial services will get embedded, and there are various other lives. You mentioned 64 themes, of which I've typically talked about things like multilingual. In a country like India, multilingual is
Important.
very less talked about. That's why I bought it. Uh, we keep talking and crying that there is no penetration of financial services.
Right. Less
So if you want a person who's staying not to tier 2, but at least tier 3 or small villages, there also people are becoming aware because they use smartphones many places. Now, how do you expect them to become part of financial inclusion unless you have multilingual apps, you have multilingual content, right? So today, so multilingual doesn't mean you have menus which are based on that language. That's a simple thing to do. But
That's
you
translation.
should have content, uh, you know, even about the product, videos. So it's a big thing. It's a big strategy. It involves cost, effort, time, and also I feel multilingual can be a very big theme which will relate common people with fintech. I'm coming from that perspective,
Right.
you
Right.
know. And then there could be, various other aspects like we keep talking about many of these jargons, which is your blockchain, uh, 5G, quantum computing is coming in a big way. This is largely for someone who's experienced and is going to be relating directly to fintech. For them, these may be of more interest, right? Then common people can figure out how economics of every business is changing. Disintermediation is happening in almost every industry, right? So I have raised it as a fintech theme because fintech enables that disintermediation,
What
right? Along with digital, or is happening in the fintech and digital space
great,
currently.
great, great, awesome. So, Karthik, going forward, talking about the skills, because we mostly focus on the new age skills that are required for any kind of these new age fields, like fintech is one. So, somebody who is trying to enter into fintech, and you being 20 years experience in this, driving multiple products, what are the basic three, four, or multiple skills that you think somebody should have to start a career in this and maybe also grow in fintech field? What does it take?
So I think obviously I will go very generic, right?
Mm.
Because when I say generic, logical thinking is one.
Okay.
Okay, as a person, you should emphasize on your logical thinking abilities,
Mm.
and I'll tell you why. Because see, what is happening is, I'm sure this applies to you, our generation, and earlier generation little bit. But now, what is happening
Mm.
because of Google and all, knowledge is available today, free,
Information is
kind of.
available. Information is available. Yeah.
Information
Something,
and
yeah,
to
you can
that extent
knowledge.
knowledge
Mm.
also, because you can really download research papers, everything, right?
Right, right.
The only problem with that knowledge is how valid it is, how
Mm.
so to that extent. So that is, but that is one part. But on the base level, we all agree knowledge is available for free.
Okay, okay.
But what is lacking is the understanding of that knowledge,
Right, right. Even if I
right?
have the
And that
research
can,
paper, I have to understand it thoroughly. I have
yeah,
to, yeah.
yeah. So that is where logical thinking or frameworks help.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So if you know any framework
Mm.
and tomorrow you read up anything new, you
Mm.
can very easily correlate, or you can figure out whether this is meant for me. So it's like, uh, you, for example, if you know your dressing style,
Mm-hmm.
you it makes life. And when you go to a big mall and you see hundreds of dresses,
Mm.
you try everything? No, you will select 4 5 and then go for it, right?
Right, right.
So how do you do that? Because you have that framework. I want to dress up like that, that knowledge, right? For example, I won't go for loose dresses. I
Mm.
won't go for printed patterns, right? So you have some clarity of these, structures,
Right.
right? Or I'm slightly more informal oriented and stuff like that. So it's like so I can put it as part of some kind of a checklist or a filter or a framework.
So you're saying frameworks
So
should understand the
yeah,
framework.
so the more frameworks you understand,
Okay.
it will become easy. Because another problem today is so much information and knowledge. What you get confused.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So because knowledge is free, there is so much of it.
Mm.
You can be conflicting, confusing. So framework helps you filter that.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So as I said, logical thinking, some knowledge of framework.
Right.
Softer skills will be much sought after going forward.
Mm-hmm.
I would, at least youngsters, I would tell them that I'm sure many of them are doing it. Uh, have some digital skills as basic, like make small videos,
Mm-hmm.
right? Try to make your own website,
Mm-hmm.
right? And a lot of things are available free today online. Try it out. Some basic coding. You don't need high-end coding. Try to understand what a API is. APIs are going to be kind of future,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So these 3 4 things, if you do, and obviously I'm addressing exactly on these lines in my book,
Mm-hmm.
where I try to talk specially about fintech, because if you see, typically banks started with people having to know how to calculate interest.
Right.
But today I can bet you, if you find out, the branch managers, they don't know how to calculate interest, most of them, at least the new age banks,
Right.
right? Because they are more servicing clients,
Mm-hmm.
right? When I say they don't know, they may know it, but it's not. Earlier they were by hearted. They
Mm.
will know exactly. They can write on a piece of paper, compute, and give you. Today, that because their core banking does this for them, you
Oh.
know. And then gradually that shifted to marketing, sales, distribution, some IT skills, knowledge skills. 15 years back, did you ever hear of anything like a product manager or business analyst? 15 20 years back, these roles were not known in a bank.
Right. Right.
But today a bank cannot work without product manager or business analyst,
Right. Right.
right? So process skills to that extent, and then API skills, so, and soft skills, because that is the forward future. In fact, it's something I will briefly tell you about when I talk about my book, because I've addressed all these issues there.
Okay. Okay. Great. So yeah, I think now we can move towards your book. Also, you can give a sort of overview or want to go into certain topics that you want to talk about your book. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you rightly put a perspective there, wherein we first started about themes, and my book is sectioned like that. So the first section is about talking about themes.
Mm-hmm.
There are 64 themes which introduce you to the world of fintech,
Okay.
right? So I tell you that it's very simple. These are 64 themes which are happening in fintech. So if you know those 64 themes, or fintech plus digital world, as I said, you instantly
So
get to
this is
know.
for beginners. Sorry, this book is for beginners or for somebody
Yeah.
who.
So So it's a mix. This is largely meant for someone who's beginning,
Mhm.
because it is written in a very simple language,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Uh, the middle section of the book is very helpful even for experienced people,
Okay.
because I talk about frameworks there. I will come to that.
Yeah.
So as I said, first section, the it is very beginner type, and obviously in that 64, even an experienced guy can identify 8, 10 themes which is very new to them.
Right. Right.
So though they may know most of the 64,
Mm.
out of that 64, they may still find something new the way I have talked about it.
So have
So
you like
for
payments and lendings? These have you all these
no, so
64 have you
I
broken
have
down
broken.
into these
I,
heads or? Like,
no, I have broken it generically. So
okay.
I have not broken it as segments. I
Okay.
have broken it like onboarding.
On
Onboarding is a theme,
more
because
granular.
onboarding is common across all.
Okay. Okay. Great.
And I'll tell you why onboarding is important in fintech, because onboarding involves KYC. So there
Right.
is regulation
Very
involved.
important. Right. Very important.
Yeah. So all that I have explained. Then
Mm.
onboarding involves lead management.
Okay. Right. Right.
Onboarding is very important because lot of business failure and cost is involved in
Yes.
onboarding.
So yeah.
So if out of 100 people, if you use smart technology and filter out people, or you can increase the effectiveness of our onboarding and reduce your acquisition cost.
Yes. Totally agree. Totally
It's
agree.
so many, actually that's why I've worked backwards. So when I did these 64 themes, I really tried to correlate with various problems in the fintech industry, the trends, and
Awesome.
then I broke it up into those 64 themes.
Can you talk about more themes like onboarding is one,
Yeah, so
billing,
connect. So for example, phygital is a theme.
digital. Okay,
Physical,
digital plus physical.
one,
Okay, physical plus digital.
physical plus digital. So
Okay,
where it can be applied, and and digital. So before phygital, I've talked about digital only services.
okay,
Okay, so there is you some banks. So tomorrow for mass people, it's like simple. You have this zero balance account where they don't
right.
offer you any other service, right? Right. But if you want some relationship manager service, some special service, you may need to pay. So that may come under phygital. So I've tried to correlate with trends and then broken up these themes, not just for the sake of it. That these are certain
Basically,
aspects
in
there.
your experience, whatever major problems that you saw, based on that, you
Yeah,
have developed themes, and
yeah,
then these
yeah,
themes you have described in your book.
yeah, yeah. Peer to peer, for example, peer to peer is one theme,
Right.
right?
Right.
So that way it is broken. So
Very
yeah.
nice. Very nice. So talking forward, I mean, as a fintech person, what are the challenges that you see in this field? Do you feel that there's a lot of regulation which is there in the industry, or you find there is lack of a skilled force? What are the major roadblocks that you see in the fintech industry?
So I have actually addressed these
Mm.
part in my section 3 of the book.
Okay.
So just before that, I'll take a minute or two to talk about the framework, because
Yeah,
after
sure,
the
sure.
themes,
Yeah.
yeah. So what I did was, now once you know that there are 64 different themes in which innovation is happening,
Right.
how do you know that? What do you do with these, right? So what I did was, I realized that in fintech, you need to know map the user journey. Everything is a user journey,
Right.
right? So what I did, I created a created a framework called FDLC, Fintech Digital Life Cycle,
Okay.
which
Full life
basically
cycle.
will
Okay.
help you create user journey right from onboarding to offboarding.
Right. Right.
And in between, there are many stages. So I have 7 stages and 39 sub stages under which you can create user journey, which is technology agnostic, product agnostic. It can be applied to any fintech or digital product, because
Great.
every product will have onboarding, offboarding, and those 5
Yeah,
stages
I
and
think
39
if it's
subscriptions.
generic, it makes a lot of sense because bank will have a different, fintech will have a different kind of structure. So if we
But this
work
will
for,
apply to
yeah,
this
then
will
it
apply to all of them. So FDLC is one. Second
and
framework I have done is called Flare, which is like a logical 14 component architecture,
hmm
where I have again broken functionalities. So themes is the trends and what is happening, but here I have broken functionalities into 14 blocks: data block, core applications, right?
okay,
Front end, and then there are 14 such blocks. Content is one block, right? Content is beyond that. Content means you can have video content, audio content, RSS feeds, right? You need to know to how to tag content. So I've talked about everything there, where people, anyone who's, for example, a person wanting to do a job in a bank and innovate and all, it helps him understand. He can be very quickly familiar with what is happening. So that's
okay,
the
right,
second. Yeah, so requirements will be easily articulated. So that's second. And third is something called, I call the API marketplace.
right, right,
Tomorrow, just like to see a few years back, before malls came, if you wanted to, every school year, we went to a shoe shop to buy a shoe. We
right,
went to book shop to buy a book. We went to clothes shop to buy uniform, then stationery separately, right?
right, right.
Now, but if you enter a big mall, you may get all these shops at the same
One,
place,
one,
right? Same way, wherein you can simply pick and choose. Same
right,
way, API marketplace, just like how you build a website, you can just pick up. You want to start your bank, you want to start your own payment getting embedded. See, today, if you want to embed a payment gateway, you
right,
can simply use up any API and embed it
right. In your app,
on your website.
yeah,
Tomorrow you can do this one step ahead, wherein you can build your own community, embed payment, start a peer-to-peer lending if regulation or
allows,
providing it, right? So
right,
it technically it's possible, and that's where things are going to head. So that's the third framework. And then I come to this aspects of regulations, pricing, then play different types of players, and how different career opportunities are emerging, right?
right,
Obviously, when I say this on the regulations, we are talking a lot about privacy issues.
right,
We are talking about frauds happening,
mm,
especially in a
right,
digital environment. So awareness has to raise. So I'm talking about, in fact, one of the themes is education.
mm,
Education is a very big theme, especially in financial services. So because so education and awareness. So that's something I talk about at the end also, wherein I relate
yeah,
it with
because
regulations may come, make it mandatory. Today, if you know, for certain things, say derivatives, at least to sell derivatives, you need to have certification, right? Or even to sell a mutual fund, you need to be AMFI certified,
right, right.
right?
In finance, I
So tomorrow,
lot of this sort of common man does not understand these terms, right? This is bit
yeah,
technical
yeah,
terms.
but
And they
yeah,
suffer also. Lot of scams, as we were talking about. People give them QR code and then tell them to give the payment, but they don't understand what is happening. So a basic
yeah,
kind of some people in the share market only. Some companies come which say we will give you 20% return in 1 month, and people fall for that. The reason basic is that financial education, the basic education literacy is not there, right? So you
yeah.
address this point, yeah.
And apps can actually address that. See,
Right,
like how fake ads are there, right? You get to know instantly today in WhatsApp also, So compared to what it was couple of years back, today we have started getting aware of, we get to know instantly that this is a fake forward, you know.
right,
Even if someone forwards, today people say, no, no, this is fake, this link is fake. So it's a matter of collective awareness and the likes of those. And see, and I think that will evolve. But
right,
there needs to be a framework, and technology can help there.
right,
That is what I'm talking about in the book. And then regulation should enable it. That's the as far as regulation is concerned. And then, as I said, on the career side,
yeah,
I foresee a lot of softer skills, which I discussed with you earlier.
right,
uh, because tomorrow you may be working with a bank, and I gave you this example. It's not
mm,
necessary that you need to know interest calculation, right?
right,
Or uh, you may be just managing the relationship. That's what many people are doing now. What they do is they are relationship managers. They
right,
coordinate, and if I have some additional question, they will put me on a
Definitely.
call with the expert.
Right.
Right. So, and that's the way it is going to structure. So, a lot of these softer skills, digital skills, as I said, video skills, these things is something which I will want. And this is not a skill I am saying that you should, they will become basic.
Hmm.
So, everyone should
Well,
have it.
this is like the minimum everyone should have it.
And next, I'm already seeing it. I see young people launching their own, YouTube channel. Maybe they have 10 friends, 20 friends. They may even post 10, 12 videos. You just get the knowledge. Maybe you don't become the expert in making videos, but then in your job, that knowledge will help because you may then guide because tomorrow for your product project, you may need to make videos. That's the way the conversation will be in future, right?
And
So
building on
as I
this,
said, that's the crux.
yeah, career opportunities. If we talk about going forward, do you think there will be a lot of jobs coming in the fintech sector, in the big banks also, and in the startups? What is your sort of take on this?
See, my request to everyone is, uh, even if you're doing a job, don't have that job mentality
Okay.
first.
Mm.
Okay, because even though you may be working,
Mm.
you will be working like entrepreneur in your company.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way things are going to be,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, just 1 second,
Like an entrepreneur and build.
entrepreneur.
Mhm.
And uh, see, I said some of these knowledge like APIs will help because if you are in a technology, and this is, as I said, not for common people, but for most common students or
Right.
professionals. This knowledge of APIs, how different systems talk to each other, knowledge of content, because tomorrow your conversation will be with the customer will be for content. It's already happening,
Right.
right? You need to first tell them what so sending them some video, keeping them updated. So the way and technology will help you towards that. So knowledge of all this will help, and exactly that's what I've tried to weave in my book. It's
Okay.
like a flow,
Right. Right.
right? So everything will be some relationship, some engagement, and unless so it's not going to be about just selling because today selling is also not profitable
Mm-hmm.
because you're giving freebies. If the customer stays with you for a long time, and then he is
And
referring more customers, if
right.
there is loyalty in relationship, only then will the businesses be profitable tomorrow.
Right. Right.
So just having selling skills will not help just by that. You need to have a lot of these softer skills to continue that. And
You see,
then,
a
as I said,
longer term engagement with the customer and
yes.
trying
So
to
softer skills will be
softer skill.
sort required for that. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So, talking like I'll just end, but this question like in India also we have seen this fintech boom. A lot of fintech startups have come. A lot of fintech startups are now very popular also. Like Razorpay is there, Grow is there, Cred is there. So, any sort of from your perspective, some startups which are doing phenomenally well in fintech, or even bigger banks who are sort of the stalwarts of this fintech. Which ones do you consider?
Yeah. So in India, for example, many of us we see a lot of these, like you mentioned, Razorpay, Paytm. Many of us know it, right? Because they splash a lot of the ads and all. So, but how many of us know what NSDL is doing in fintech? NSDL,
Right.
they have done a lot of work. So they have consolidated
Pan.
statement, the whole back end with respect to your taxation network they are running. In the capital market space, they have done a lot of stuff, in terms of automation. I think NSDL also has a payments bank, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll,
so there are many such. How many of you know what Bombay Stock Exchange has done? Because Bombay Stock Exchange has this robo advisory platform,
mm-hmm.
right, which is helping other robo advisors to evolve,
Okay.
right?
I did not know.
So
Mm.
this is where I will say that you need to educate yourself, keep aware, and in fact, I have created such categories in my book
Okay.
wherein I start with regulators, then there are intermediaries in between. So there is a lot of action happening by these intermediaries
Mm-hmm.
in terms of cleaning the ecosystem or empowering the ecosystem, because based on that only people come on top. Many new fintech can start and doing their work more
Right.
efficiently,
Right.
deliver bigger value, better value.
Actually,
So
UPI also is a big example, right?
UPI is a very good example, and government is now planning a new umbrella entity, right? Just like UPI, they want to
For lending.
de-risk. Not just for lending.
Hmm.
For lending, you have something called OCEN, which is coming,
Okay. Okay.
Open Credit Enablement Network,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which is already being, it is in the testing stage. It is already testing live. And only thing is they have to sort out certain regulatory aspects to it, and procedural aspects to it. I think in the next 1 year or so, you will start seeing companies starting with OCN as a platform. It's a marketplace driven approach. It is completely different than, today what happens, you have to go and aapko minnat mangni, you have to really ask the bank, give me loan, give me loan.
Right.
Here you will go to the marketplace, the banks will bid.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's the approach. At least we have to see how practically eventually it works out, because sometimes you think of something in a way, but market forces and practical issues
Right.
shape the market in a different way.
Okay.
But that's the intent. So it will revolutionize lending in a big way. So OCEN is area, and India has done good. That's what I'm saying. Now all these things are Indian. Aadhaar is Indian. uh, we are not talking, a lot of us are not too much aware of DigiLocker.
Right. Right.
DigiLocker will revolutionize in a big way. It is a silent player. Gradually, it is happening. And one fine day, you'll see almost all your stuff is in DigiLocker.
Right. Right.
You pass out from your college, your certificate is in DigiLocker,
Right. It's
right?
very useful.
You do
Very
your,
useful. Because these
yeah,
documents
yeah,
nobody can keep. Don't want to keep. You will lose it. So.
yeah. How many of us, you must have had friends, they have
Right.
spent so much time following up with college for transcripts after
Right.
3, 4 years.
Right. Right. Right.
So there are many use cases. If you
Yes, sir.
digitize records on both education, employment, based on that, your credit scoring will become better,
Employment is a
isn't
good
it?
example, right? Every company can put it on DigiLocker. Like
Yeah,
this
yeah,
person
yeah.
worked for
So next step,
this time to this time in our company.
your employment, your rent agreements,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
your traffic challans.
Right. Right.
So just by reading the DigiLocker, obviously there will be privacy there, but assuming I can get to know about your profile, whether you break the the signal very frequently and stuff like that. I'm just saying digitally it is possible, though
Right.
privacy laws may restrict it, and that way. So
No,
DigiLocker. So you should. There are a lot of these peripheral things. So instead of looking at what is happening in the market, just see what is enabling a Paytm,
mm-hmm.
right? If you just probe a little between, then you will see these structures, some of them by the government directly or by these intermediaries, right? If you, then you will notice then who's which is the organization behind that. That time you'll get to know these names like NSDL and others,
Right. Okay. So you're saying more
so that,
fundamental, these building blocks are important, and then based on those building blocks, some services are being built, which are okay, but you should try to understand the building blocks of fintech. Right. Very nice. Very nice. So I think yeah,
so
final.
that's there.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. So final question, Karthik. What are your final thoughts about somebody who's just young, wants to enter into this fintech field? What will you say to that person? It's a bright field. Should they enter? If they're entering, what should they? What should be the mindset when they enter a fintech field?
my first suggestion is going to be obviously read my book.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is given. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is great. I mean, that
that
is
that apart.
minimum reading, minimum learning, right?
Yeah, no, I've written it with that intent. I think
Right.
uh,
Hmm.
I'm being very explicit about it, because my intent is that this
You
knowledge should
didn't
be
find
there with
any other
everyone.
such books, like when what was the
No,
sort of
no, no one. The
right?
frame. Or see, everything. I've not copy pasted a single line in the book.
Okay, okay. So you did not find
Each
any
of those six.
sort of a introduction to fintech book and you wrote it, something like that, or
No, 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 no. See, I took. See, concept wise, many of these things I had in my thought
mm-hmm.
earlier also, like FTLC and all. So I took time. So the whole intent was, why that simplify? My question was, so many things are happening. This is so confusing.
Right,
What do I do? What, some, it's not very, it's not like you read this book and you can start a business. but you get clarity.
Basic
Okay,
frameworks
so
and everything.
so when I wrote those 64 themes, I had these thoughts in my mind, and each line I wrote on my own.
Great.
Yes, what I did was, I in certain areas, like I have talked about Web3, I just validated maybe 5-10% of what I've written. I validated whether I've not written anything wrong, just to
Right.
verify. So that way. But any case, coming back to this thing, in terms of, so as I said, fintech is going to get embedded. So all of you need to know about fintech. It's going to be part of your life in anything you do. Tomorrow you'll be in ed tech sector, be it in health tech sector. Health
Right.
tech means insurance will be involved, payment will be involved, right? Assessing of clients will be involved, KYC will be involved. So almost 80-90% of what I've written in the book will be applicable to those sectors also,
Right.
right? You
Right.
get into e-commerce or anything. So all these aspects will in a way be impacting you in your career, and to that extent, knowledge and awareness of fintech is very important for almost everyone who wants to get into digital space,
Right. Right.
unless you are getting into something like a research person or hardcore engineering, right?
So
That becomes
somewhere fintech will touch you, even if you are doing.
everywhere.
Right.
Any commerce,
Hmm.
any commerce and digital, any industry where digital is playing a big, even if you're going to airline industry,
There
I'm
also.
talking about, I'll tell you, I'm talking about community, I'm talking about loyalty points,
Hmm.
because these things are going to touch not just fintech, it is going to touch every industry.
Right.
For to engage client, to I talked about profitability of client will come only with deepening of relation. How will you deepen relation? So I've talked about that in my flow, wherein you can keep him engaged, you have to supply content, you have to keep calling him, give him alerts. So I'm trying to weave that it's not just one simple thing, it has to be a mix of thing, and that's where you'll craft a journey for every client.
Right. Right. Right.
And that's what I've tried to, obviously dovetailing into the book, because the book was written to this intent. So I'm just saying that you need to know about fintech, if at all it's touching your industry, or the digital is touching your industry even by 10-20%, you need to know about fintech. That's my honest submission.
Okay, I think thanks a lot, Karthik. I think it was a great session. A lot of information you shared. So I'll put the link of the book in the description of the video. And I think to our viewers, I will say please read this book as an introduction to fintech. And if you have any question, please let us know. And again, I would like to thank Karthik for your time and sharing this information with us.
Thanks, Nikhil. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, sir.